the opening race over 7 furlongs, the Irish EBF maiden. Well away was Convincer on the inside, leading in the early stages, Recall the Show. And Simply True in the fighting line. And Fiscal Prudence is not far behind them, with Hong Kong and the purple cap prominent. And then Wyatt Earp and Bowes Beach is on the outside. Continuing their journey towards the 5 furlong point, and it's Simply True by half a length to Hong Kong. Wyatt Earp is on the outside. They're followed by Fiscal Prudence and Recall the Show Treks, Blue Cap of Bright Idea, and then Sherp and Convincer the Rail. Meaningful Vote is next, and then Bowes Beach and Sinawan. Leadership races on the outside of London Office Calling. Heading on to the halfway stage, and it's Simply True with a narrow advantage over Wyatt Earp on the outside of Hong Kong, nudged along in between horses. On the rail is Fiscal Prudence, and then Recall the Show and Bright Idea. Leadership races next, and then Convincer and Sherpa and Sinawan is being followed by De Graves. Heading on to the final 2 furlongs, and it's Simply True and Billy Lee, chased by Recall the Show, who's gone second. Coming under pressure is Hong Kong. Running on in the middle of the track is Bright Idea. Waiting is Fiscal Prudence. And then Sinawan leadership race, and De Graves is Simply True, pressed by Recall the Show, the white jacket. On the outside is Bright Idea. These 3 in front of Sinawan and De Graves, and bursting through between horses from an unpromising position, 18, Lady Jane Wild. Where does she come from? Gets up to beat Bright Idea, Recall the Show, De Graves, Sinawan. Simply True faded in the closing stages, then Sherp.
Racecourse, high quality racing, and the going at headquarters was Good to Yielding. The first race was a 2-year-old maiden over a mile, and Mogul was sent off, the odds-on favourite for Ryan Moore and Aidan O'Brien, and your commentator for the evening, Jerry Hannon.
Thereof, Alatar missed the break of fraction in this opening Irish EBF 2-year-old maiden over a mile, and it's Jurgen on the inside of Mogul, showing in front in these early stages of Shoshone Warrior, and to their outside is King of the Throne as they settle down the end of the first furlong, and it's Mogul, and between horses Jurgen and King of the Throne, leading them on to the elbow, followed by Shechem. Fiscal Prudence is on the outside, and they're followed by Dark Voyager and Nobel Prize, the dark blue jacket. Blue Cap of Shoshone Warrior, and they're followed by Praise You, with Manhattan Dandy and Camelot Rock, and Alatar is at the back of the field in a red cap. Continuing on, the leader is Mogul. Ryan Moore showing a little over a length in front of King of the Throne and Gary Carroll second. Third is Jurgen. Declan McDonough in the orange and blue, and they're being followed inside the halfway stage by Shechem and Chris Hayes. Fiscal Prudence is on the outside of pushed along Shoshone Warrior and Dark Voyager. Nobel Prize and Alatar, and then Camelot Rock. Praise You and Manhattan Dandy. Just over 2 to go. In front is Mogul, a couple of lengths clear from Shechem, who's making ground in the centre of the green jacket. Reminders for King of the Throne, and then Jurgen and Fiscal Prudence and Shoshone Warrior, but it's Mogul in front, racing down to the final furlong, 2.5 in front of Shechem, and then Jurgen and King of the Throne is next with Fiscal Prudence and Shoshone Warrior, but it's Mogul and Ryan Moore, visibly all the wiser for his debut outing, and has made every inch of the running to beat Shechem, Jurgen, and then King of the Throne, Fiscal Prudence and Shoshone Warrior.
Mogul, the 8-13 favourite, wins for Ryan Moore and Aidan O'Brien in the colours of Michael Tabor, beating Shechem, who was second at 7-2, and Jurgen was back in third on debut at 50-1.
Am I mile the trip for the Tyrrells. Jerry Hannon once again in the commentary box. Girls, Jerry Hannon once again in the commentary box.
Benny Nitas might just have been the last one. Yes, she was, and they're off and running in race 1 on the 5th day of the festival, the Tote Ireland Irish EBF Median Auction 2-year-old maiden over a mile. Vying for the lead in these early stages, Spiritual Sun, with on the inside Santiago prominent. They're being followed at the end of the first furlong by Bolly Bullet. Just behind them is Sunchart with Grey Surge next on the inside, being followed by Benny Nitas as they head down the far side. Royal Red Persian is next on the outside, and then comes Kondratiev Wave right across from the stands just outside the 5 furlong point, and Santiago and Donncha O'Brien have gone through on the inside to just head. Spiritual Sun and Ronan Whelan, they're tracked by Grey Surge and Shane Foley on the inside of Bolly Bullet and Rory Cleary as they head for the 4th halfway stage. Sunchart next with Royal Red Persian and Benny Nitas, and then comes First Thing with Kondratiev Wave on the inside. Impetuous is next with Miss Thompson. Out the back, Bow Driven, heading for the approach to the straight, Crackella and Manhattan Dandy. Coming now to swing into the straight, struggling is Mustang Bullet, and that one well behind us. Santiago makes the bend into the straight, 3/4 of a length to a length in front of Spiritual Sun, being followed by Sunchart in between horses, then Grey Surge, and Bolly Bullet is on the outside of Benny Nitas, and in the middle of the track is First Thing, but Santiago has kicked clear, racing down to the final furlong on the Tote Ireland Irish EBF Median Auction 2-year-old maiden at Santiago, chased by Sunchart, who's trying hard in second place, but Santiago's win here puts Donncha O'Brien on level terms as regards the jockey's table. Second is Sunchart, First Thing third, then Spiritual Sun, Benny Nitas and Bolly Bullet.
Favourites won at Santiago, but he was
Our runners and riders out on parade ahead of our ultimate race in the afternoon, the Monkey Communications Nursery. Mile ahead of them, Tom Wade, the nursery is in favourite. Marshall Ensemble for Sherline, Colin Key, Lassie finishing David.
Did you mind? Huh? Yeah, but I won't get it back then. You want it? No, don't.
In the 7th race, over a mile, the Monkey Communications Nursery. And the first to show is Mythologic with Galactic Grey, Cobb & Co. and Simply True. And they're closely followed in the early stages. On the outside is Manhattan Dandy. Top weight Marchand Ensemble, tracks on the inside. Coming around the elbow, and Cobb & Co. has picked it up, is followed by Manhattan Dandy just behind them. There's Dashing Diamond on the outside of Borelli, Simply True. To their inside, Marchand Ensemble with Mythologic in between horses, Take My Hand, followed by Troop Commander. And after them is Galactic Grey with Dark Design, Mowgli, and out the back is Princess Mason. Heading on to the halfway stage, and it's Marchand Ensemble right over on the far side, coming up to dispute the lead with Cobb & Co. the grey in the centre. And Manhattan Dandy pushed along on the outside. Just behind them is Mythologic, Take My Hands, Come Under Pressure, and then Simply True, Galactic Grey, Borelli, and Dark Design. Dashing Diamond has dropped away, and then Princess Mason, Mowgli, and Troop Commander. Racing inside the 3 in the Monkey Communications Nursery, Cobb & Co. with a fractional advantage in the middle of the track from Mythologic. Dark Design with a bit in between horses. On the rail is Marchand Ensemble, then Simply True. Borelli in the centre of the track is staying on. Racing down to the final furlong, it's Cobb & Co. Niall McCullough pressed on the near side by Borelli and Andy Slattery, who have come to take Cobb & Co. and then Simply True. Troop Commander from the back, but it's Borelli in the lead as they run up to the finish in the Monkey Communications Nursery. It's a fine double for Johnny Murtha and Fitzwilliam Racing as Andy Slattery gets the winner back. On Oshino with Simply True, Cobb & Co. and Troop Commander all involved for the minor money.